what does Blink AI do? So we are a generative AI launchpad. This is a statement from about a decade ago when A16Z said that software is eating the world, and now we see AI is eating software. Web3 activity is booming. Most people who come into the space are typically dabbling with fungible, non-fungible tokens initially. Then they want to build more complex applications. A lot of non-technical people get in the space who are intimidated by smart contracts, the different ecosystems which are out there. It's all pretty tribal. It's difficult for a Rust developer to become a Solidity developer. It takes a long time to do something like that. And we're essentially trying to solve that. So our idea is generative AI can solve the problem. Building in Web3 is difficult to begin with, but this generative AI is going to come to the rescue. And we can actually solve the problem for most people who want to launch something in AI. So these are just some of the statistics that you've seen from reports from Alchemy and Electric Capital as well. Typically, there's a drop-off rate. About 3/4 of the people that try to build something in Web3, they find the process too intimidating. They drop off. Less than 1% typically in a bear market of the developers are equipped or even know how to build in Web3. There's, like I said, centralization and fragmentation as well in the ecosystem. What Blink is essentially trying to do is wrap all of that around a text prompt. So the way that you would use ChatGPT, Claude, or any of the other AI tools, what if you could wrap all of that, building a smart contract, generating liquidity, creating your bonding curves. If you were to launch an NFT collection, generating images for it, attributes, metadata, what if all of that could be wrapped behind a text prompt? If you're too lazy to even type, we have a flow where you can actually click through the entire process and build that application. And then what if you didn't want to do that, we're going to enable voice as well. So you can go from voice to any of these experiences within Web3. So what we essentially do is we have AI in the front end, and all the user has to do is type the intent, either type the intent or pick what they want to do. If you wanted to launch a token, our first product is a token launchpad, where you type your intent on what type of token you want to build, and then AI takes care of all the rest, right from building the smart contract to building the landing page, and then it'll guide you the process of setting up liquidity. So you can take your tokens and go straight to a DEX, or you can set up your own bonding curve and specify a threshold at which you want to go to a DEX. And at that point, the AI agent will actually put the liquidity on a DEX as well. So for the user, all it's going to look like, you wanted to set up an NFT collection, and then AI can guide you through the process. If you wanted to set up your own betting market, that's another product we want to release later this year. Or you want to create like a fair launch doc theme token, that's all that the user sees. And then AI takes care of all the complexities in the backend. So what have we built so far? This is what the interface looks like for anyone that's going to come into the system. We're right now in closed beta. We have 2 modes. The turbo mode is for someone that wants to launch something within less than 90 seconds. So we'll show a video as well, time permitting, around how you can launch a token or an NFT collection within 90 seconds. The craft mode is someone who wants to spend more time, actually play on with the AI. They want AI to explain exactly what's being built. And then you can go through that mode. This is experimental. And then AI actually builds everything for you and explains how everything works. This is what it looks like once you actually build the token. You get a landing page. You can see a bonding curve. You can set up your own bonding curve. The AI will build a bonding curve for you. And then you can specify what type of bonding curve you want, whether it's logarithmic or it's a linear bonding curve, the slope of the bonding curve. We're going to have AI agents here as well, so you'll get recommendations around buy, sell. You can set up with wallets. If it's 10 agents or 100, you can define that later, and then they can do the trading on their behalf, fund the wallets, and you're off to the races. The opportunity is pretty big. Just token launchpads, and these are pretty degen launchpads, are making millions of dollars a day. These don't offer any type of customizability. You got to bring your own images. If you're doing a more serious project, you got to create your own landing page. You got to do a ton of other things. So there's plenty of opportunity just in the fungible token space. Obviously, NFTs, once the bull market's around, there's opportunities there as well. And prediction markets are pretty big. And we allow people to build that as well. So from a roadmap perspective, what we have right now is the token launchpad, where you get an AI-generated front-end page. You can customize your bonding curves. The open beta, which we're going to open this week, is available for all EVM chains, for about 7 EVM chains and Solana. So you don't need to worry about, you can change your mind at the last minute. You can take your token, deploy it to Solana. Don't have to worry about how it gets deployed. The AI actually generates everything, sets up the bonding curve, deploys it on Radium. Later this year, early next year, we're going to set up DeFi, NFT, and prediction market use cases. So anyone can come in and behind a text prompt, or just click through the same UX that you're going to see, and essentially deploy any of those applications. And then next year, we'll have richer experiences. We'll have a marketplace where you can pick from any of the existing front ends, customize it through text prompts, and do more complex use cases like DEX and lending markets as well. So that's about it. I want to try to go through a video real quick around what we built so I can explain to you what the experience looks like. All right, so this is a landing page that we built, so you can actually go here and look for everything, whether it's a token or what you want to do. You can type what chain you want to deploy a token on. All you have to do is what type of token you're going to build. You get modes. It's a chill mode. Here you're going super degen. AI will write the description of the token for you. It'll create all the social handles as well, or you can bring your own handles. And then you click the generate button. Within 30 seconds or so, AI is essentially going to build everything. It's going to create a landing page. It's going to create the smart contract. It's going to deploy everything. You just have to sign off in your wallet. We support embedded wallets as well, so you can buy an on-ramp and buy tokens and deploy from there. You get the token image, banner, description, and then it creates a project and essentially is deployed. Once it's deployed, you can look at the landing page. You can make adjustments to the text, to the images. You can go play with the AI, keep regenerating images. You can set up your bonding curve if you want to put liquidity on a bonding curve, or you can go straight to a DEX. This is where you can actually customize how your bonding curve will look like, and at what market cap you actually want the liquidity to go to DEX. Once that's set up, you essentially go and publish it, and at this point you have a landing page which you can share with your friends. The landing page will come with a buy-sell button, so you never have to worry about the DEX itself. You'll see something like this where anyone can come and trade. Prediction markets are going to look same as well. Buy, sell, you'll see what the prediction market is doing like. NFTs, we're going to do the same thing. AI-generated images, metadata, and then attributes as well. So open to questions. I think I'm on time.
I'm curious. We've seen obviously OpenAI kind of lead the charge in terms of what is possible. They've spent probably billions of dollars, and now we kind of have more specialized models. Are you using on the back end a ChatGPT AI, or are you building your own models?
Yeah, so we've experimented we use Claude and OpenAI at the moment. We have used Llama's models as well, 80 billion model parameter models. For image generation, we use DALL-E, but we want to allow people to pick any model. So we'll support like Google's model, and they can pick which model they want to use, depending on the results. Longer term, we're building our own model, which is trained on smart contracts. So we'll have one model actually generating the code, the second model auditing the code, and you'll get an audit report as well. So the idea is, here's the audit, these are all the potential vulnerabilities. If you're building something more complex, and if you want to do a manual audit, you can take that and do a manual audit. But the idea is one model generates the code, the second one actually checks the code. Those will be models that we'll build on open source, either Mistral 117 billion parameter model or a Llama 80 billion parameter model. Those are more cost effective. You can run those on a single H100.
Right now, with kind of the state of the product, like the output is relatively deterministic. You have AI to make descriptions or websites. As far as the longer vision goes of let's say launching something more complicated, like a Convex or a Camino or a DEX or something innovative like that, do you think it's feasible with the error rates of AI and the higher stakes of a protocol like that?
Yeah, so that's the reason why we are spreading this out, right? So right now you can do simple use cases like tokens, NFTs. We are going to use a lot of pre-audited smart contracts for these. As you get into some of the more complex models, we have the craft mode, which can explain everything, and we can show where it's attributed from. So when you go to the craft mode, it shows attributions. It tells you what parts of the code were added by the generative AI, and it can show you potentially what vulnerabilities are there. So that's where the second model will come in. It will tell you, hey, you may have a re-entrancy problem over here. These were all the places where something like this got hacked, and then you should get an audit done. So that's until I think the models are getting better. Last week, if you saw OpenAI release Strawberry, which has reasoning capabilities. So I think in a few years, we'll get to that point where you can actually generate something really cool that hasn't been done before. I don't think we're there yet. So we're starting off with simpler use cases. And our goal, again, is anyone who comes in within a minute, you should be able to launch an NFT collection. You should be able to launch a DEX. Most 90% of the DEX are typically Uniswap forks with a different front end. Like we can generate those types of front ends paired to Uniswap's code, and then you're off to the races with a DEX. So those are some of the simpler use cases. The craft mode will actually explain the code. It will tell you an attribution factor, show you which parts are actually Gen AI generated, and then you'll get the audit report as well. So that's the approach that we are taking.
I'm curious, what's your view on the maybe 3-year vision for this, or even 2-year vision for this? What do you see people? Is it mainly launching? I guess why would a DEX launched on this like win, or a product launched on this win generally?
Yeah.
Is the idea to make it simple for anyone to be able to launch, or to
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, so there was a great podcast by Ilya recently. So he said, our industry gets a lot of flack for building too much infrastructure. So he said a few years from now, I believe in that. As humans will be building infrastructure, AI will build all the apps. So 3 years from now, ideally, people are coming and launching DEXs and lending, borrowing protocols, and we have 800 side events for apps that launch on Blink AI.
Awesome. I think that's all the time we have. Thank you.
All right, thanks.